turbulent time for the CBC, an era marked by restraint and cutbacks. In 1985, it had to trim $75 million from its budget. It accomplished that in part by cutting jobs. And Juneau leaves when the CBC faces another round of cutbacks. In his last budget, Finance Minister Michael Wilson said the corporation would have to trim $140 million over the next 5 years.
Joining me now, the outgoing president of the CBC, Mr. Pierre Juneau. Hello, Mr. Juneau.
Hello.
There has been, it's quite mysterious, there has been no announcement of your replacement. So when you pack up your things at 5:30, there's going to be no one sitting in the president's chair. What is going on?
Oh, there will be. There will not be a new person from outside the CBC, but the board of the corporation has asked Bill Armstrong, who has been the executive vice president working very closely with me over the last 7 years, and who has been in the CBC for 25 or 30 years, has done all kinds of things. Bill will be the acting president until somebody is appointed.
How long do you think until will be? How long will it take?
I have no idea. I'm not part of the discussions that may be going on at the moment in the government.
Well, let me put it another way. What do you think the difficulty is? Why? Because we have known that you are leaving for some time.
Yes, well, it's been known for 7 years that I would be leaving today.
Exactly, it is 7 years. Why do you think...
Some people would have liked me to leave earlier.
Why do you think? Do you have any suspicion as to why there has been no appointment?
I don't know. I think it is in broadcasting, in some broadcasting circles, it is known that a couple of people have been offered the job and have preferred not to take it. So that's a difficulty, I presume. And then I guess the difficulty is for the government to make up its mind and for the prospective candidates to make up their mind if they're asked.
Mr. Juneau, let me ask you about your mood as you leave. On the one hand, there is today in the beginning of Newsworld, which is expansion and new challenges for the CBC. On the other hand, there have been the cuts of 1985, the cuts that the corporation is facing in the future. You must leave a somewhat frustrated man.
Well, not really. You know, the pleasure of working in the CBC, I think, exceeds every other feeling, and particularly today, as you yourself said, with the start of Newsworld and the enthusiasm here in Halifax, and I presume it's the same thing in Winnipeg and in Calgary. You know, those things have more impact on my mood at the moment. I'm also sad to leave the CBC because, you know, it's been a very, very exciting 7 years for me. But then, you know, when I'm alone by myself, certainly the cuts I find are a very, very sad thing. And
someone said to me today that the CBC was like a Titanic heading towards that iceberg, and now there's no one at the wheel, so to speak.
Well, I don't think, yes, and I've heard, you know, metaphors about 747s and things of that kind with no pilot. That's not quite accurate, though, because I think the CBC has a group of senior managers who are very, very competent people. Bill Armstrong is very well known in the CBC and trusted. So I think that there should be no, I mean, it would be better if a decision had been made by the government, no question about that, so that we would know exactly who is going to run the CBC. But for an interim period, I can assure you that the CBC is in very, very good hands.
Mr. Juneau, thank you
yes.
so much for being with us today, and our best wishes to you.
Thank you, and best wishes to you and to Newsworld. What I've seen up to now is wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.